You were never forgotten. A divine message of healing, strength, and protection. My beloved child, come closer for a moment and quiet the noise around you. I know your heart has been carrying questions you rarely say out loud. Questions that rise in your thoughts late at night, when the world grows silent and you are left alone with your fears. Questions you try to bury beneath distractions, responsibilities, and forced smiles. What if I am not enough? What if I fail again? What if I get hurt again? What if nothing ever changes? What if everyone leaves eventually? What if all my hopes disappear one by one? You may never have spoken those words to another person, but I heard every one of them echo through your spirit. I heard them during the nights when you stared at the ceiling trying to calm your thoughts. I heard them during the mornings when your chest already felt heavy before the day even began. I heard them in the silence between your tears. My child, none of those fears were hidden from me. You have tried so hard to appear strong. You have tried to carry yourself with dignity even when your soul felt exhausted. You smiled in front of people while storms raged quietly inside you. You kept moving even when your heart wanted to stop and rest. You kept encouraging others while secretly wondering who would encourage you. And through all of it, I stayed beside you. I watched you bury dreams with trembling hands because disappointment made hope feel dangerous. I watched you stop talking about the things you once desired because the pain of wanting them became too heavy to carry. You buried dreams of joy because life taught you to expect sadness. You buried dreams of love because your heart had already been broken too many times. You buried dreams of peace because chaos seemed louder than comfort. You buried dreams of purpose because confusion made you feel lost. But hear me clearly today. Those dreams never died. I protected them while you were too wounded to carry them yourself. You thought your hopes had disappeared forever, but they were only resting beneath the surface, waiting for the right season to bloom again. I saw the moment you stopped believing beautiful things could happen to you. I saw the moment disappointment convinced you to expect less from life. Yet even then, I did not give up on you. My child, I remember every prayer you whispered while your voice shook with fear. I remember the nights when tears blurred your vision and all you could say was, "Please help me." I remember when you whispered, "I cannot do this alone anymore." I remember when you prayed for strength because you felt too weak to continue carrying the weight on your shoulders. Those prayers moved heaven. You thought your words were too small, too weak, too broken to matter. But I never needed perfect prayers from you. I only wanted your honest heart. Even your trembling whisper reached me. I know how difficult mornings have become for you sometimes. I know there were days when simply getting out of bed felt like stepping onto a battlefield. Before your feet even touched the floor, the pressure responsibilities already pressed against your chest. Thoughts rushed through your mind before you could even breathe deeply. You smile for others while silently preparing yourself to survive another exhausting day. I saw every one of those mornings. I saw the way you paused before standing up because your heart already felt tired. I saw the heaviness in your spirit when yesterday's pain still lingered inside you. I saw the way you forced yourself to keep going even when your soul wanted rest. And I carried you more times than you realize. There were moments when you believed your own strength kept you moving, but it was my hand supporting you. There were days when despair tried to swallow you completely, yet something inside you kept breathing, kept surviving, kept holding on. That was me holding your heart together. You are alive today because my love never stopped covering you. My beloved child, your suffering never pushed me away. Your fear never made me distant. Your tears never irritated me. Your exhaustion never became too much for me to handle. Everything you carried drew me closer. When you cried alone in the darkness, I stayed near. When you hid your pain from everyone else, I still saw it. When you felt invisible, I was watching over you. When you thought no one cared, I was holding your spirit with tenderness. You have never been abandoned. There were nights when you cried quietly into your pillow because you did not want anyone to hear how broken you felt. There were moments when you locked yourself away because you were tired of pretending to be okay. There were times when you stood under running water in the shower, just so you could finally let yourself fall apart in private. I saw every tear. Not one tear was wasted. Not one tear was ignored. Not one moment of pain escaped my attention. And every time your heart broke, mine moved closer to comfort you. My child, I know you have struggled deeply with the feeling that your life has been delayed. You looked around and watched other people move forward while you felt stuck in the same place. You wondered why certain doors closed suddenly. You questioned why opportunities disappeared just when you felt hopeful again. You asked why relationships ended. You asked why your prayers seemed unanswered. You asked why your path felt uncertain while others appeared confident. But listen to me carefully. Those delays were not punishment. They were protection. Some doors closed because they would have wounded you later. Some relationships ended because they could not carry you into your future. Some opportunities disappeared because they would have drained your spirit instead of fulfilling it. You thought you were being rejected, but I was redirecting you. You thought I was silent, but I was protecting you from battles you never saw. There are things you cried over losing that would have eventually destroyed your peace. There are paths you begged me to open that would have cost you more than you could afford emotionally. There are people you chased who were never meant to remain in your story permanently. I know those endings hurt. I know the confusion felt unbearable. I know you wanted answers immediately. But my child, protection does not always feel comfortable while it is happening. Sometimes protection feels like heartbreak. Sometimes protection feels like delay. Sometimes protection feels like silence. Yet every closed door carried purpose. I need